The previous Elly may not have had a robot, but she did have flexible magic damage. And a while later she got buffs. Ha! Remember when those were a big thing? Holy Mother Reborn, Elly's Trustmaster reward is her clothes. With good magic and spirit, it also has a passive that grants a small MP regen. Her Super Trustmaster reward is her boots. They're an accessory of high magic, a double demon and machine killer, and when equipped onto Elly or her Brave Shift, it'll give her 500 extra magic. Onto her active abilities. Fill Layer Burst will fill her Layer Burst. That's deplorable! Will give your team a strong double machine killer, gives her a Super Layer Burst buff, and a 300% stored magic boost. You can't say that at the start of the battle though, gotta watch your manners. Animal Wave deals wind magic damage that chains of Bolting Strike, lowers your enemy's wind resistance by 130%, and fills her Layer Burst gauge by 1/6. Terra Ghost is the same thing but Earth, though it lacks the Layer Burst fill and might be weaker if you don't raise the Brave ability. Thermal Largo is the same thing as the last one, but fire. Aqua Lord is the same but water. Cyclone Kick deals flexible magic damage that chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity. Passes. But for Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, Elly gets a whopping 1000 magic. She has 6 strong killers, half the cap to Layer Burst damage, a big limit burst regen, and cuts her MP cost in half. She prefers to carry a single weapon, beating half the cap to the chain layer boost. Her normal attack has been changed to attack, dealing flexible magic damage that fills her Layer Burst gauge by a small amount. At EX plus 1 she gets Warring Spirit 2. At EX plus 3 she gets 500 magic. Let's look at her Layer Burst. Inflicts a 35% Rod Imperil. What? 10 turns? Wow! Deals flexible magic damage that gets stronger with another use, and boosts her Layer Burst damage by 200%. Time to change forms. Holy Mother Reborn, Elly's Brave Shift has a 4-turn duration and a 4-turn cooldown. Onto her active abilities. She's actually lost a ability, Cyclone Kick. She does get Hyper Mode in exchange, but that's only available at EX plus 2. But Hyper Mode is pretty useful, strengthening the damage modifier of her Layer Burst, boosting her magic and spirit by 300%, her wind damage by 30%, and giving her a 300% stored magic boost. Passives. She's lost her MP reduction and the ability to wear armor, in exchange for several robot passives. More stats, Brave ability stats, and a damage modifier boost for her abilities. Let's look at her Layer Burst. It lowers your enemy's wind resistance by 130%, deals wind magic damage, and activates a field effect that further lowers your enemy's wind resistance by another 50%. Let's rank Brave abilities. I'd prioritize Omega 100 for better passes, and raising Animal Wave just raises its damage. Time to make a damage rotation. On turn 1, use her Layer Burst. On turn 2, cast Fill Limit Burst, Animal Wave, and that's deplorable! On turn 3, switch forms, and activate her Layer Burst. On turn 4, triple cast Animal Wave. On turn 5, double cast Animal Wave and shout again. On turn 6, activate her Layer Burst. You'll switch back, so stick with Animal Wave. Make sure to shout before you use her Layer Burst. So, EX2. EX plus 2 unlocks Hyper Mode. This is a very important ability for Elly, buffing her Brave Shift's Layer Burst and giving her important stat buffs to go along with it. It also unlocks her Super Trustmaster reward. It's great for her, though unfortunately, you won't get another magic buff if you make her wear 4 boots. Outside of her, it's still strong, just not the strongest, though those double killers might make them more enticing. EX plus 3 is extra stats, and expensive. So how good is Holy Mother Reborn Elly? She actually got buffed here, and her buff is this. It now fills her Layer Burst when it didn't before. Now, this might seem underwhelming, but it does fix one of her biggest issues, her huge Layer Burst cost. So basically they're fixing a problem they made. But what about her damage? It's, relatively speaking, honestly horrible. Now this isn't through any fault of her own, as her kit, modifiers, and stats are good. What she lacks is an elemental amplification buff. Even at EX plus 2, it's only 30%, and in the face of 150% we see today, well, there's no way she's keeping up. It doesn't help that there aren't as many good wind supports as there are, well, the other ones. Holy Mother Reborn, field buffs only have one field user anyways. Of course, if you don't want to take burst damage into account, then yeah, she's strong, and that's really the aggravating part. Her best damage might lock her into wind, but she has good abilities to pair with it. A strong and lengthy Rod Imperil, a very powerful Field Imperil, and she has a bunch of stored magic boosts. Once we get a powerful wind supporter to bridge the gap, Elly will be a much stronger unit. And even if her burst damage isn't the best around, she still might find slots on wind teams due to her strong Imperos. Overall, Elly's a unit for the future. Unless Globo decides to say no. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you summon Holy Mother Reborn Elly. It's a shame her best damage isn't flexible, as it does cut down on the amount of teams she could have fit in. But I guess if you got all the robots, you can make a robot squad. Ooh, that'd be cool.